What's this? Electoral Reform? Hey, what's all this about? Oh, this? Electoral Reform BC. Yeah, but what is it? Can you, explain? Yeah, sure. So, it's basically they're changing how the voting system works here in BC. Right now, a voting system called FPTP, first past the post, is being used, but some people say proportional representation is better, so they're having a vote on what the people of BC want as their voting system. Alright, so let's start with first past the post, or FPTP. First past the post is an electoral system that is currently being used in BC. This voting system, basically whoever gets the most amount of votes take everything. Voters vote for one candidate of each party. This system generally elects candidates from big parties and results in single-party majority governments. This system is currently being used in Canada, United States, and the United Kingdom. And then there are the three proportional representation voting systems, each being dual member proportional, mixed member proportional, and rural urban proportional. So let's start with DMP, or dual member proportional. In DMP, most electoral districts are combined with the neighboring district and represented by two members of the Legislative Assembly, or MLAs. The largest rural districts continue to have one MLA elected. In two MLA districts, parties can have one or two candidates on the ballot. Parties decide which of their candidates is listed first on the ballot and which is listed second. Voters vote for a candidate or a pair of candidates by marking the ballot once. The first seat in a district is won by the candidate with most votes. For parties that run two candidates, the seat is filled by the candidate the party listed first on the ballot. Second seats go to parties so that each party's share of seats in the legislature roughly matches its share of the province-wide popular vote. A party's second seats are filled in districts where its candidates did particularly well. Parties need at least 5% of the vote to get any second seats. So that was DMP. And then next we have MMP, or mixed member proportional. In MMP, there are two types of MLAs: district MLAs and regional MLAs. District MLAs represent electoral districts and are elected using the first past the post. Regional MLAs represent groups of electoral districts called regions. They are elected from a party list so that each party's share of seats in the legislature roughly matches its share of the province-wide popular vote. District seats in the regional areas added together roughly match the party's share of the vote. And same as DMP, in MMP, a party must have at least 5% of the vote to get any regional seats. And finally, we have RUP. In RUP, there are two different types of voting systems mixed in: MMP and STV. MMP is used in rural areas of BC, and STV is used everywhere else. We already covered MMP before, so we'll focus on STV. In STV, or single transferable vote, parties may have more than one candidate on a ballot, and voters may rank every candidate from 1 to whatever number they'd like. Okay, so, well, that's nice and all, but don't you think the proportional representation voting systems are a bit complicated? I barely got that listening to you. I don't know if everyone voting for these proportional representation voting systems would know everything about it and how it works. You're right. They are kind of complicated. I'll give you my opinion of what I think is the better of the two types. I think FPTP is better than any one of the proportional representation voting systems. It's not because I think FPTP is better than all of the PR voting systems. That part's debatable, as all of the voting systems has its pros and cons. It's because of the familiarity of FPTP by the general public. FPTP has been working in BC for 100 years, and it would be awkward to change its current system to a different, more complicated one that a lot of people are not familiar of. The proverb, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it," it doesn't exist for no reason. That's not to say the PR voting systems are bad and should be scrapped. They are definitely worth to take a look at, and with time, the PR voting systems might even be better than FPTP. But for now, I think the people of BC should just stick to what they know best.